OMG, we made it. I made it. And if you're here, you made it too, to the very last video of this series. I've been going live for about 2 weeks just to catch up on all the things I've been wanting to tell you all. But we are going to be talking today about pivoting into the new year. And so I think it's really important for us to have proper tools to do that. And man, this year has been such a whirlwind, and I'm going to be straight to the point and just give you some of the tools throughout this entire series. I've been telling you about my books, my journals, and my planners that can help you pivot into the new year. And today, I'm just going to share with you what some of these resources look like. And let me pause for a moment and grab my books for you. So, I got a few of them in the mail. This is what they look like. Got my pivot journal, my pivot planner. This is look how big this one is. Lots of pages in there. That's the full size pivot planner. And then there is a pivot journal. And I just made a new pivot planner that is smaller in size. It's like this is my author's copy. So it's fresh off the presses. It is smaller in size and it's narrower. I got it that way so that it could fit in a bag really easily. But yeah, now I have a series that includes 4 journals and planners. But yes, today I wanted to talk about how I use these to organize. And so this year, I had so many things that I wanted to do, and I thought, no, this year I wanted to be so organized. And how I did it this year was that I told myself I was going to plan and be organized in terms of quarters. So looking at the year and splitting it up into 4 segments and saying, okay, I'm going to be laser focused in each of the 4 quarters of the year. And I've got to tell you, it has been a game changer for me. And I'm not going to go back to any other type of planning, I would say. So in that, I want to show you some of the tools that I have. Also, before I do that, isn't this cute? This is a composition notebook that is a pivot blank composition journal. And so as I'm planning and doing different things, I noted to you all in a previous video that I'm going to be going paperless. So for the most part, most of the things I do will actually not be in my paper journals. I made these journals for people who love good pen and paper. And that's what I used to be. But because I care for the environment and I want to be someone who can travel a little lighter and be able to take my things more easily, I have transferred my things electronically and now I use my things digitally. So this right here is actually an iPad that's connected to a Bridge keyboard, and I have my Apple Pencil at the top. And so a lot of the things that I do are digital. I have a version of my pivot planner and my pivot journal that is digital, and I actually use an app called Notability, and through Notability is where I do all of my planning. I will try to link in the bio, I'll link in the info box below the link to my video talking all about the electric and different ways, virtual ways to look at the pivot planner. Let me pull up that for you. Actually, on my YouTube channel, there's a whole playlist because I've talked about all of these things in segments throughout the year. So I'm going to share with you my playlist. I made it so simple. So if you go on my YouTube channel, there is a playlist called Pivot Strategist, and all the way from my intro video where I'm talking about launching the Pivot Journal about a year ago, talking about goal strategy, goal setting, doing a self audit, doing a vision board. That's going to be really great for you if you're thinking of something to do for next year, and all sorts of things. So if you're interested in that, YouTube is a really great place to find my content that is all about pivot strategy. So that is there for you if you want to look at that. And so today I want to show you some other ways that you can use my pivot planner in different iterations. I have a lot of fun doing this. So let me show you first. If you're interested in a digital version of my pivot planner or my pivot journal, I actually have it so that you can look at it and receive a copy of it. I use something called, oh man, what is the name of this brand? Hold on, let me Google it. because I myself should know it, but I don't remember. Okay, so if you go to my website, and it's timmycomo.com/pivot, you should see all of my pivot content. And all of my pivot content, I made it easy. You can find it in one place on my website. So if you go to my website, there you will find my whole pivot system. I forgot to mention my pivot planner and my pivot journal is available in a Spanish version as well. So here's the original one, here is the Spanish version, and then here is the planner. And so you can actually pull your copies of it here. There's a print version, a digital version, a Spanish version. So click any of those buttons to get that. So for today, I'm going to show you what it looks like to go through the digital version. It's literally the same pivot journal, pivot planner that I have in the hardback, but it is something that you could pull up on your iPad or your computer. I have them both in the fillable version, which means you can type in your answers, and also a writable version if you want to print it out and write on it, or if you want to use something like an Apple Pencil or some kind of digital pen to write on it, you can do that as well. So anyway, so this is the walkthrough. And I really love that it's digital. It's something I spent a lot of time designing it that way for a reason, but there are all sorts of different parts. So there's the self-audit, talking about your self-care, your circle, your people audit. For today, I'm going to focus on the goals section, vision setting and vision getting, as well as your SMART goals. So don't get dizzy. I'm going to breeze past all of these things. Here we go. So we're in the goal setting area. There's a little bit of an example of what does it mean to do goal setting. And then there's this area here. Let me zoom out just a bit so you can see. So when it comes to vision setting, when I'm thinking about vision setting, I'm thinking about all of the different ways that I can set a vision for the year. I think many times we go in and we're like, okay, these are my goals, but sometimes you have to think broadly and say, okay, what does this vision look like? And how do I approach this in a way that makes sense to me? So when I say vision setting, I'm asking you to think about what is your vision for this part of your life? What is your vision for your life's purpose? What is your vision for your relationships? Do you want them to be closer? Do you want to have more adventures with your friends? What's your vision for growth, for wellness, for money, for the goodness or the philanthropy that you do? And then from there, you start thinking about, okay, that's the vision. That's what I want to see. But how do I do that? I do that by making really smart, intentional goals, right? And so here's a space here. Remember, I said that we're planning in quarters. Actually, the new version of the Pivot Planner actually has only 4 goals for the year. Like I mentioned, each of the quarters is dedicated to one of your big 4 goals. So it used to be 5. The new version has 4 goals, just because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming to do 5. Okay, so for each of the goals, you have to think about the 3 deliberate actions that you do. So you get the picture. If you want to know more about how this goal setting part works, I highly encourage you to check out one of the videos on my playlist that is all about goal setting. I go into detail. I show you how to walk through it. And I have examples of me actually writing on my pivot planner and my pivot journal. So I super love that. Another really cool thing that I got a chance to do, I knew that my journal had a lot of trackers and I wanted you to be able to track your work. And so I created a Google Sheets version of the tracker. So let's say you wanted to, and they're all hyperlinked here. Let's say you wanted to go and see the vision setting. You could click there. The vision setting is right here in the tracker. I go back to the intro there. If I wanted to look at my 1-year goals, there it is in my tracker. If I wanted to look at my habit tracker, I want to do more of these actions and less of these actions, right? Even quarterly reviews, they're here. Each quarter, I ask you to ask yourself 4 questions and answer these statements. I am proud that I blank. I am grateful for blank. My biggest lesson for the quarter was blank. Moving forward, I am excited for blank. And so if you're a person who is someone who wants to see all their things in one place, I highly, highly recommend this tracker. It is something I put a lot of work into because I think it's really important. So these are all available for you here. if you get a digital version, all of these trackers are made available to you as well. So feel free to check that out. And so, yeah, I don't want to take a whole lot of time today, but I think for me, if I could answer my own question about if I can answer my own questions about my review for the year, how I look at the year and how it went. So this is quarter 4. And let me share with you this year, I'm proud that I was resilient. There were a lot of tough things that happened, and I had to really, man, the Lord was making me a big girl this year where I had to really just dust myself off and remember who I was, regardless of what my situation looked like. I mentioned in a video earlier that I am no longer at my job that I was at, and the process was like a little bit traumatic. And so I had so many, I don't know, curveballs that were thrown at me this year, but I'm proud that I'm resilient and I learned a lot about myself, even in hard things. Secondly, I am grateful for my family throughout every step of the way, every tough thing. They're a really great sense of support. And they know me so well that even when I wasn't saying all the things, they were praying for me, they were counseling me. So I'm grateful for them. My biggest lesson was listen to your instinct. Listen to your instinct. A lot of times before these hard things happen, my instincts were telling me something and I just kept ignoring it. And I just kept saying, like, maybe I'm exaggerating or maybe I'm thinking too much about it. But by the grace of God, I have pretty solid instincts, and the Holy Spirit was really helping me keep an eye out for certain things. And so I'm telling myself now, if you think it's weird, it's probably because it's weird, you know? And so don't make excuses for things. Just listen to your instinct and follow what you're feeling is happening. Yes, use reason, but don't ignore the instinct that is there. Honestly, I'm excited for creating more because I had such a hard time breaking through creatively. I felt like there were so many ideas that were in my head that I never got to create. And so moving forward, I'm looking at my equipment that I use, the kind of content that I put together, my approach to my YouTube channel, my approach to my business and my career. They're all very different now. And so I'm excited to take that forward momentum, that energy and that excitement into the next year and just like keep running. I felt like this past year, or this year that we're in, was very much like a rest and like, okay, come back to yourself type of thing. But the coming year, I need to just rediscover what fun looks like again. So I'm so embarrassed. My friend was asking me like what I do for fun. And I haven't done fun things in a while just because there was so much going on. And I was trying to like list all the fun things that I like to do. I was like, I like going to these places. And I was saying, oh, someone invited me to blanket bingo. That was kind of fun. And then she was like, bingo? You're in your 30s. Why is bingo the thing you're doing for fun? And I was like, no. It was fun. It was like a cool hip bingo. But as I was saying it, I was thinking to myself, no. That's not even me. I am a fun and adventurous person, so I need to lean back into that. So I'm excited for that part. One other thing that I want to show you, man, I'm super proud of the Pivot Journal. I think all of the work that I put in this year, I was trying to build something that worked for me and would work for people who are like me. And so I literally created my pivot planner and I made it digital. And then I also made it in Notion, which is a really great app when it comes to project management and things like that. So there is a version of my pivot planner that is on Notion. So let me pull it up for you so you can see it. Okay, one sec. La 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 la. How are y'all doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope that everything is good in your lives. I'm unreasonably excited for next year. I just feel like, there we go. I just feel like it's going to be a really, really good time. Okay. So, and this will be the last thing I share. This last live doesn't have to be super long. I'm just grateful that y'all have been kicking it with me for so long. Okay. So Like I mentioned in Notion, this is the template that is actually available. I don't know yet if I am able to share it with you all so you can use it, but I think I'll be able to in the new year. That's something that will be available for you if you want that. But yes, I put a lot of work in this, like I said. So here is the weekly planner. This is what it looks like when you open it up. When you open it up, how to use this page, you have your 3 big goals for the week. And then for each day, you have the 3 things that you're going to focus on. And they have check boxes here. And then your 2 habits that you want to include there. Whatever the good habit might be. For me, I like to exercise, and I like to make sure that I read my Bible or I journal, some combination of the 2. And then that's there. And then at the end of the week, there's a reflection. Give me 1 sentence to describe your week. Give me the highlight of your week, 1 thing you will adjust for the future. So that's the week example. And then there's a daily planner. Here's the example of that. It looks a little bit different. So let me see. If you pull up a new one, there's a journal version of it if you want to journal down your thoughts. Same thing with the reflections. Or if you would like to have a daily agenda, which is what I love. The daily agenda is cool because it has the time, just like the real planner does. If you pull down here, here's your agenda. You can type in whatever you want for the times. It goes all the way from 6 a.m., which is when I wake up, to about 10 p.m., which is around when I start winding down. So that's the daily. The monthly reflection, you saw it on the digital version as well. It looks like this. Pivotal moment of the month, what thing you will adjust for next month, your source of gratitude, your acts of goodness, what kind of philanthropy you did. And then there's just a section here for a general notebook. So I think it's really important to have, man, for me, I was trying to keep track of all of my journals. Remember, I mentioned on other videos that I'm a big composition notebook planner, but I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many journals. And being someone who in the last 3 years, I've moved twice. Yeah, I think I moved twice or 3 times. Every time I'm having to gather my journals, I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. I can't plan my life quite in that way. It doesn't make sense. So I've made the adjustment to be mostly digital, just because I don't know how to keep track of all the things. And I now have my trusty iPad, which is humongous, but my iPad is helpful for me. Everything, if I want to handwrite something, I have all kinds of writing apps like OneNote and Notability. Or if I want to type something, I can use like Google Documents or anything like that. So I have found that taking the same great pivot journal and pivot planner that I love and making it digital has been a lifesaver. So that's just what I wanted to talk about today. I'm just super happy that the year is coming to an end because, baby, it needed to wrap up. It needed to wrap up. But I'm in such better spirits just thinking about whatever God is wanting to do. I think a lot of times before God does a thing, he starts to prep your mind and your spirit and your heart to receive whatever he's put there. So you will be seeing more of me. You'll be probably seeing different types of content because I'm getting back in my experiment. Oh, yay, Lawrence. Oh, I always forget to put people's comments on here so you can see it. Lawrence says, the way pen and paper have a grip on me. I'm telling you, I love pen and paper, but when I switched to the iPad, I wish I could show you my handwriting. My handwriting is like virtually the same with the Apple Pencil and my iPad. So I found that just because I still like my handwriting and I love pen and paper, but I like the convenience of being able to have one thing that I carry around rather than like 2 or 3 notebooks. Yeah. And Lawrence is funny because Lawrence is a teacher. I'm putting him on blast. Lawrence is a teacher and I'm a former teacher. Teachers have like some kind of weird pen affinity where it's like you find a good pen, you find a good notebook, and it's like, oh, it's quiet. But for me, I love the Apple Pencil because it's like having a fine point pencil and a marker and a paintbrush all at the same time. So when I'm using all of these different writing apps, I could choose the weight of the pen and I can choose exactly how I want it to look. So anyway, I think it's super cool that now I've made that transition. I now have to think about storage on my phone and my iPad, which is different, but I think it's worth it for me, especially as I think about being more mobile and traveling in the future. I want to be able to just say, I brought one thing. Do you see how I had to like pick that up so heavy? Shay! Oh wow, look at my teachers representing. Shay said, yes, teachers love their handwriting. I feel like you cannot be a good, well, I met a few science teachers and math teachers with horrendous handwriting, but if you're like an English teacher with good handwriting, it grips the students, it makes them pay attention. So yes, if you have good handwriting, by all means, keep your notebooks and your pens. But I gave away all my pens at some point, and I think I have one. I have one pen that is like a Pilot pen, and it's a beautiful fine point pen. It's the one pen that I use, and I use one type of notebook right now, the composition notebook, which costs like $1 when it's back to school season. So yes, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you for sticking with me. I will see you next year in a few days. So take care. Have a great day. Please, if you haven't already, you need a care package. Lauren said, do I need a care package? Is this because I have the one pen and the one notebook? It's by intention. I'm now a digital minimalist, and so I've intentionally decided to give them away. Actually, teachers who are out there, if you need a care package, let me know, because I would love to help finance whatever it is that you need for your classrooms. Yay, teachers. Okay, y'all, take care. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day. Please don't forget to look at those resources. Let me make it easy for you to find my stuff. www.timmycomo.com. Make sure I could spell. If you go to timmycomo.com/pivot, you will see all things Pivot Planner, all things Pivot Journal. Everything that I just mentioned is all up there. Okay, bye y'all. Take care. Have a happy New Year.